And thanks for joining us here at 5. We hope you're enjoying the sunshine and some periods of dry time, because unfortunately, more of the rain is on the way for the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell is tracking those storms. Hey, Mallory.
Hey there, Connie. Yes, we're not seeing a break in that pattern just yet. I know the Louisville area, southern Indiana, seeing some of that nice dry time today, but we do have storms to our south, and additional rounds of scattered storms are expected for our weekend. So Mother Nature will continue to give your car a car wash as we continue onward into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. By Tuesday through Thursday of next week, that's when we should enjoy a bit more of a break in the rain. Satellite and radar here. Storms definitely farther to the south compared to where they were yesterday. Yesterday, they were widespread, pretty much right along the I-64 corridor. Today, they're not very organized, but we are seeing some isolated to scattered activity just southwest of Grayson County. Also, a couple of small pop-ups around E-Town and Hardin County on the Nelson County line as well. So some pockets of heavy rain, gusty winds, lightning possible, primarily along and south of the parkways. Otherwise, cloud cover today has helped out temperatures a bit. I will say Louisville just snuck up to 90 degrees thanks to some late day sunshine. 91 in Shepherdsville, 88 in E-Town, 87 in Brandenburg, 87 currently in Scottsburg. Those are your actual air temperatures, but this is what it feels like with the heat index, feeling more so like the upper 90s and triple digits across Kentuckiana, all thanks to this very high humidity that we cannot seem to get rid of. So we have these tropical dew points well into the 70s again this afternoon, giving us that very high heat index. Your hour-by-hour futurecast, spotty storm, especially to the south, along and south of the parkways. That's where the best chance will be. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy tonight with lows in the 70s. And then, as we've been mentioning, rounds of scattered showers and thunderstorms expected this weekend, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. We'll talk much more about that and our 7-day forecast coming up shortly. Connie.
Flash flooding hit in Washington County last night. Take a look at this video of a camper just being washed away in New Pekin, Indiana. Thankfully, the sheriff's office says no one was inside as it floated away because of high water. And 3 more cars either flipped or were carried away by water in Washington County. Nobody reported injuries, according to the emergency management director there. Our Ian Hardwick and photojournalist Jessica Farley drove up to New Pekin to see the aftermath.
This quiet creek carried a whole RV camper underneath this bridge in New Pekin, Indiana on Thursday. If the camper didn't convince you how fast and high that water was moving, think about it coming over towards Corner Road here, flattening out this cornfield for about 50 feet in.
It's been at least 20 years, maybe longer than that, it was that bad in that area. It wasn't just here in town, it was out through the county.
Town Marshal Jeff Thomas said Highways 60 and 160 partially closed overnight. At least one Washington County home was evacuated as water came into the first floor.
After the creek went down, the river came up, and so the river got out of its banks down there, and we had a car, lady drove the water down there, and we had to go down and get her out.
Back over the bridge, Pekin Methodist Church burns boxes instead of the annual yard sale they had planned for the weekend.
This was actually one of the largest ones that we've actually had.
Pastor Christopher White rushed over in knee-deep water around 5:30 p.m. Thursday, thankful nobody was hurt and that the water receded within an hour.
What they call a flash flood.
One that washed out about a foot of the nearby creek bank.
This tree right here was actually standing straight up, so and there's the roots. So that tells you how fast everything came.
With the water comes a change in Sunday's service.
Sunday's message will be something to expect the unexpected.
But he recognizes these moments can test faith.
Having faith is easy for me, but there's times when, like down in Texas and other places that have dealt with this, people really struggle with that. How do you deal with it? You pray, Lord, get me through this minute, and then it goes on from there.
Because you never know what'll wash up. In Washington County, Ian Hardwick, WHAS11 on your side.
And all roads reopened this morning. We could see more pop-up storms tonight, but likely not as much rain as we saw yesterday. So remember, Kentuckiana's in peak flash flood season all the way through August. And we're no stranger to flooding, and with the Texas disaster, people are on high alert. Here's how you can be more prepared in case of flash floods. First, have an emergency kit. The storm in Texas happened at 3 and 4 in the morning, so flashlights become life-saving. Pack food, water, those flashlights, batteries, and extra medications that you need. Plus, a whistle, just in case you get separated or stuck. Phone should not be your only form of communication, and invest in a NOAA radio and have a good understanding of what each alert means. We get quite a few of these here in Kentucky. Here's a quick rundown. A flood watch, hazardous weather is possible, so be prepared. Flood advisory, flooding is expected to be inconvenient but not necessarily dangerous, just be aware. Flood warning, hazardous weather is imminent or already happening, so take action. And flash flood warning, flooding is imminent or already happening, and the flood is especially sudden or violent. You might only have seconds to find higher ground. In a flash flood emergency, there's a severe threat to human life, and catastrophic damage is about to happen. Our parent company, Tegna, is collecting money to help in flood relief efforts. You can watch a new special called Hearts and Heroes, Flooding in the Texas Hill Country, and donate to our fundraiser to help those still in need. You can watch it on the free WHAS11 Plus app starting tonight at 9 o'clock.
November 19, 2016, Tommy Ballard was killed in the field directly behind me, just off the Bluegrass Parkway.
And the family of Tommy Ballard has upped the reward for tips leading to an arrest in his murder case. Tommy Ballard, father of Crystal Rogers, was killed while hunting in 2016. And while justice came for Crystal, Tommy Ballard's murder remains unsolved. In a social media post yesterday, the family says they've upped the reward to $50,000 for tips leading to an arrest. They are asking anyone with information in the case to contact state police. Well, a man is dead after an early morning shooting. It happened in the Algonquin neighborhood around 4 this morning, according to police. They found a man shot multiple times on Moore Court. He was taken to University Hospital, where he later died. The homicide unit is investigating. LMPD hasn't identified a suspect. Call 574-LMPD if you have any information. And looking ahead now, extended lane closures begin tonight on U.S. Highway 42. They're part of the $130 million project to improve the Watterson and U.S. 42. The state plans to widen the expressway, add extra lanes to ramps for Brownsboro Road and Westport Road, and build a new intersection design called Single Point Urban Interchange. The lane closures will be on 42 from Rudy Lane to Glenview Avenue beginning at 6 tonight. They will last through 6 a.m. on Monday. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg says he's all in for the redevelopment of the vacant Brownfield property. Now, Mayor Greenberg attended the Bishop's Table this morning, saying there are plans to create new residential opportunities and jobs in the area. This comes after a group of Park Hill residents held a meeting earlier this month, calling on the city to finish what it started. The original plan was announced in 2023 with little to no movement since, but now the mayor says $17 million is being committed to the project, with $8.7 million already spent on cleanup. There's also $5.5 million for affordable housing.
This is a private project. I can't think of any other project in the entire city of Louisville, in any corner of the city, that has more cash committed by the city to a project, and that's how important getting this project in Park Hill done is, not just to the Park Hill neighborhood, but to the entire community.
Now, while at the Bishop's Table, Greenberg also said his #1 responsibility as mayor is improving public safety. He says this year homicides are down more than 30%, and the city has seen lower carjackings and assaults as well. But he acknowledges that more work still needs to be done, mentioning the juvenile shot earlier this week. Right now, a small cemetery in southern Indiana has become the center of controversy. The problem started when Arlen Caffey made plans to build a house on his land in Henryville, close to a cemetery. Now, the Little Union Pioneer Cemetery, which houses several unmarked graves, is directly behind the plot that Caffey wants to build on. It's now causing problems because the Clark County Cemetery Commission says it's not sure if there may be graves there. Caffey got the land examined, but says he doesn't really trust the person he hired.
And he had 2 sticks, and he told me, oh, well, there's a body here, it's a female, there's a body over here, it's a male, nothing like that. So I set him up, And I put a cross over here on this side where there was no grave. And he goes, oh yeah, that's a female body there. Well, nothing.
Kathy says he's followed the legal process to build. Indiana DNR says if a body is found during construction, he must stop operations and report it.